Hello everyone, how are you all? This is your educator G Vijaya Manorama. So subscribe my channel Vijaya Manorama Tutorials. So yesterday we have learned about acids, bases and salt, and today it is part 2. Okay, as about acids in detail we have studied, and about bases also. So brief introduction about bases, then we'll go to learn how strong are acids or bases solutions. Okay, so a universal indicator which is a mixture of several indicators. So before learning about the pH values and all, we'll learn about the bases. Okay, so bases are the chemical opposites of acids. Okay, bases are those chemicals which are bitter in taste, okay. So when bases are added to acids, then neutralizes. Just it is just brief recap of yesterday's chapter. So all the metal oxides and metal hydroxides are bases only. Sodium oxide is a metal oxide, so it is a base, and sodium hydroxide, it is a metal hydroxide. Okay. So about the properties, if we see, generally it has bitter taste. Okay. So water soluble bases which are present, they are called as alkalis. Okay, so a base which is soluble in water, they are called as alkalis. Some of the water soluble bases are sodium hydroxide. It is a water soluble base, so it is alkali. So potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide. These all comes under alkalis. Few examples of alkalis these all are. So why do all the, what is the common in all the bases? Sodium hydroxide, if we see, a base is a substance which dissolves in water to produce hydroxide ions, OH ion. To produce OH minus ion, it is produced. Okay. So if we see here, sodium hydroxide, NaOH, when it is mixed in water, Na plus ion, OH minus ion is formed. Similarly, if you see KOH, in the presence of water, it will form K plus ion and OH minus ion. Same like that only, if you see the magnesium hydroxide, that also when it is mixed in water, Mg2 plus 2 OH minus ion is formed. Okay. So a common property of all the bases, means which is alkali, is that they produce their OH ions. Alkalis, they produce OH ions. OH means hydroxide ions are produced when it is dissolved in water. So there are two types of bases, strong base and weak base. Strong base and weak base. A base which is completely ionizes in water and produces a large amount of OH minus ions is called as strong base or strong alkali. So it is strong base is NaOH, KOH. Okay, when it is completely mixed in the water, sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, when they are mixed in water, they completely ionize on dissolving in the water and produces a large amount of hydroxide ions. Okay, that is called a strong base. Next one is weak base. If we see, what is this weak base? Partially it is ionized. Okay, it is completely ionized, and here it is partially it is ionized. That's why it is called as weak base. What are the examples of weak base? If you see, weak base examples, if you see, ammonium hydroxide, NH4OH, calcium hydroxide, and next one is magnesium hydroxide. These all comes under weak bases, here it is partially it is dissolved in water and produces very small amount of OH minus ions, means hydroxide ions, very small amount it is produced. So if we see what are the properties of bases, if you see, bases are bitter in taste, they are soapy to touch, they are soapy to touch. So these bases will turn red litmus into blue. So these are the main properties. If you see, bases will conduct electricity in the solutions as they are electrolytes. So bases reacts with some of the metals to form the hydrogen gas. For example, it is very important multiple choice question. If you see, NaOH plus zinc, it gives rise to Na2ZnO2. Sodium zincate is forming along with hydrogen. Okay, so when a base is reacting with metal, then metal salt and hydrogen gas is formed. Okay, all the metals do not react with base to form its salts and hydrogen. That you must remember, because in the multiple choice questions it is very because each and every sentence is important now, as you are going to give your first term exam in the form of multiple choice questions. So in the sodium zincate salt formed by the reaction between the sodium hydroxide and zinc metal, the zinc metal is present as a part of negative ion, which is ZnO2 minus 2. Okay, ZnO2 minus 2, negative ion it is present. Zincate ion, it is very important to remember that all the metals do not react with bases to form salts and hydrogen gas. So this part is very important. So bases reacts with acid to form its salt and water. So when a base is reacting with acid, it undergoes the reaction and then the salt and water is formed with that. Okay, so when an acid and a base combine, then the real neutralization reaction occurs due to the combination of hydrogen ions which are present in the acid and hydroxide ion which is present in the base to form water. Okay, so here that is very important point which you need to understand. Before understanding this pH values, how this acid and bases can be recognized, with this pH paper, understanding about the acids and bases, it is very important. So when an acid is combining with base, okay, the real neutralization it is happening as I said. So the combination of hydrogen ions present in the acid and hydrogen hydroxide ion which is present in the base, they form the water, that is H plus OH minus. Okay, here the neutralization reaction takes place, water is formed. Okay, so these bases reacts with non-metal oxides to form salt and water. So non-metal oxide plus base, it gives rise to salt and water. Calcium hydroxide, for example, we can see calcium hydroxide and carbon dioxide, when they are reacting, it gives calcium carbonate and water. Okay, so there are so many uses of base are also there. So uses of acids and bases also you must remember. So sodium hydroxide is used in the manufacturing of soap, paper and synthetic fiber, that is called as rayon. Calcium hydroxide is used in the manufacturing of bleaching powder, very important. So now come to the today's topic. I am going to start how strong are acids and bases solution. So it is the strength of acid and base solution which we can find out with this pH scale. Okay, this is called as pH scale. In 1909, remember, in 1909, Sorensen, he devised a scale which is called as pH scale, on which the strength of acid solution as well as basic solution can be represented by using the hydrogen ion concentration in them. Okay, he is the person who first devised it. Okay, so in pure water the concentration of hydrogen ion and hydroxide ions are always it is equal. Due to that only, pure water is neither acidic nor basic, it has the neutral nature. So these all things which substances are acidic in nature, which are basic in nature, that also we'll learn. So here just we go through with this, what is pH and what is this universal indicator. So a universal indicator which is a mixture of several indicators. So the universal indicators that shows different colors at different concentrations of hydrogen ions in a solution. A scale for measuring hydrogen ion concentration in a solution called pH scale has been developed. So the P in pH scale is potential. Potens means potential of hydrogen. Okay, in German meaning is power or potential on the power of hydrogen. On the pH scale, we can measure pH generally from 0 to 14. Within this 0 to 14 only, we can identify that given substance is acidic or basic. So pH should be thought as simply as a number which indicates the acidic and basic nature of the solution. So higher the hydronium ion concentration, lower is the pH value. Okay, so the pH of a neutral solution is 7. Values less than 7 on the pH scale represents the acidic solution. As the pH value increases from 7 to 14, it represents the increase of hydroxide ion concentration in the solution, which is the increase of strength of alkali. So the pH solution is inversely proportional to the concentration of hydrogen ions in it. Okay, so always, so a solution which is having higher concentration of hydrogen ions has low pH value. Okay, on the other hand, if you see, as they are vice versa, low concentration of hydrogen ions has high pH values. In that, P is standing about power or potential of hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen ion concentration, H is hydrogen ion concentration. So the strength of an acid and base that is measured in the scale, that is only called as this pH scale. Neutral substances have the pH of exactly 7, as acidic substances have the pH of less than 7. Here 0 to 7. So acidic nature is increasing, basic nature is increasing, like this. Okay, so acids solutions have pH less than 7. These all from in between 0 to 7, these all are acidic in nature, right? So bases have the pH of more than 7. 7 to 14 are bases. Okay, in between the 7 to 14, if any pH value you will get, that is only base. So next come to the, here if you see 0 to 14, so this you take the screenshot because you have to remember this. This is going to be very much helpful for your multiple choice questions. So here the color which are produced by universal indicator pH values. Here is the chart you can see. Here you can see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, dark blue and violet. Like this the color changes right from 0 to 14. Okay, concentration of hydrochloric acid, hydrofluoric acid, if you see, that is 0. So like that only everything. So from 0 to 7, if you see, increasing acidic nature, from 7 to 14 increasing basic nature. Increasing basic nature means increasing OH ion concentration, and here increasing H plus ion concentration and decreasing hydroxide ion concentration in the acidic nature. Okay, so this is about like universal indicator. To obtain an idea of how acidic or basic a substance is, universal indicator is used. The common indicator which tells the relative strength of acid or base, that is only called as universal indicator. Actually it is a mixture of many different indicators which gives the different colors at different pH values on the entire pH scale. Okay, these all colors you will find in that. So based on that only, water will also produce a green color with the universal indicator. Here pure water you can see, here pure water, it will show the green color. Okay, so just like litmus, universal indicator also can be used either in the form of solution or in the form of universal indicator paper. With the paper also we can find. So suppose for example, if you have two solutions A and B, two solutions are there. The pH of solution A is 6 and the pH of solution B is 8. Okay, which solution has more hydrogen ion concentration? Please tell me. Suppose two solutions you have A and B. A has the pH value of 6 and B has the pH value of 8. Which solution has more hydrogen ion concentration? as we know that pH of a solution is inversely proportional to the hydrogen ion concentration. So it means that solution having lower pH will have more hydrogen ion concentration. Okay, so solution A will have more H plus ion concentration. So solution A is acidic and B is basic. Right? Chalo. Next. So what is the importance of pH in daily life? It is very, very important, just for understanding it is. So importance, pH in our digestive system, it is very important because the dilute hydrochloric acid that helps in the digestion of the food, the excess acid in the stomach that causes indigestion. To reduce that, we use the antacids. So antacids are basic in nature. They react with the excess acid which produced in the stomach and it will neutralize its effect. So mostly magnesium hydroxide, milk of magnesia. Okay, magnesium hydroxide, milk of magnesium, sodium hydrogen carbonate, baking soda is used to neutralize. Okay, next one, plants and animals are sensitive to pH changes. So soil pH and plant growth. If the soil is too acidic, means if it's having low pH, then it is treated with a material like quicklime. Quicklime you will add, or slaked lime, or calcium hydroxide or calcium carbonate. If you add in the acidic soil, it will neutralize its effect, right? So if the soil is too alkaline, then its alkalinity can be reduced by using the organic matter or manure or compost which contains the acidic nature. So if the soil is basic, then you can add this so that it will lose its means acidic nature or basic nature and it will neutralize its effect. Okay, so pH change and survival of animals, it is regarding the plants and the soil, whatever we read. So now about the animals, if we see, so when the pH of rainwater is about 5.6, it is called as acid rain. Too much of acid rain can lower the pH value of the lake of the water or river water. For the survival of these aquatic animals, it is very, very difficult. So calcium carbonate, if you add in that calcium carbonate, they can survive. Okay, what can be added? Multiple choice question. What can be added to save the aquatic animals after the acid rain? It is calcium carbonate. If you add, the lake water will neutralize the acid and that comes from acid rain. So this can prevent the killing of the fishes in the lakes. Okay, next come to the pH changes as the cause of the tooth decay. The best way to prevent the decay is to clean the mouth thoroughly after eating, and you must use the paste which must have fluoride rich paste, because the bacteria which are present in our mouth, they break down the sugar into acids, right? So then only the tooth decay starts when the pH of an acid formed in the mouth, it falls below 5.5. That's why we must use the paste which is rich in bases. Okay, as the calcium phosphate, enamel is made up of with what? It is calcium phosphate, PO4. It is made up of calcium phosphate. So that's why it may corrode. That's why the best way to prevent the tooth decay, you must wash your mouth after brushing, or else basic paste only you should use. Fluoride rich paste only you should use. Next one is self-defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. So here it is very, very important. So many multiple choice questions you can make. So when a honeybee stings a person, honeybee contains acidic liquid honey bee sting. So it is acidic liquid which is present, which causes more pain and irritation. So when you rub with a mild baking soda, it will neutralize the effect. Okay. Whereas wasp sting contains basic liquid or alkaline liquid, right? That's why what it will do, you can rub with vinegar. Okay, you must rub with vinegar. So if honey bee stings, you must apply base, because honey bee contains the acidic solution. So if you rub with baking soda, it will neutralize the effect. Whereas wasp sting contains alkaline in nature, if you rub with vinegar, it will reduce. Okay. Sometimes if you see, when a person happens to touch the leaves of nettle plant, here nettle is a herbaceous plant which grows in the wild. The sting hair of nettle leaves, they inject methanoic acid into the skin of the person. Okay, methanoic acid is present in that. Okay, so a traditional remedy is, you have to apply a dog plant leaf. Okay, so it will be, as it increases more and more pain and all. So traditional remedy for nettle leaf sting is to rub the sting area with the leaf, that is called as dog plant. Dog plant, as it contains, which is the basic nature, basic chemical is present in them, that will neutralize the acidic sting of the nettle plant leaves, and it will give you relief. Okay, so that's why it is very very important. Some natural occurring this this thing you need to remember. So vinegar, acetic acid, orange citric acid, tamarind tartaric acid, tomato oxalic acid, sour milk lactic acid, lemon citric acid, ant sting methanoic acid, nettle sting also methanoic acid. Okay, chalo, come to the, so more about salts, family of salts. What are the families of salts? Okay, so a salt is a compound formed from an acid by the replacement of hydrogen in the acid by a metal. Okay, so HCl, few salts if you see. So hydrochloric acid, if you replace the hydrogen of this acid by a metal atom, that is sodium atom, if we, then it will become a salt, that is sodium chloride. So in some salts, however, the hydrogen acid is replaced by the ammonium group. Okay, if it is replaced with sodium, it will become sodium chloride. Okay, some they replace with ammonia, then it is ammonium chloride. So best known salt is sodium chloride, which is usually called as common salt. So salt is the general name which it doesn't refer only to sodium chloride. Not only for sodium chloride, we can use for other salts also. So sodium chloride is just a member of the huge family of the salt family. Okay, so salts are formed when acid reacts with bases. Okay, so if we see, two parents are present, an acid and a base. Okay, as we have discussed, NaOH plus HCl, NaCl plus water. So here how many parents are present? Acid and base. So name of the salt is consist of first part of the name of the salt and the name of the base, second part of the name of the base, like that. So salts of hydrochloric acid family is called as chlorides. Okay, what are the called as? Salts of sulfuric acid families are called as sulfates. Nitric acid families are called as nitrates. Okay, so chlorides, sulfates, nitrates, carbonates, acetates, okay, like this. Chloride family, hydrochloric acid family is chlorides, sulfuric acid family is sulfates, nitric acid family is nitrates, carbonic acid family is carbonates, acetic acid family is acetates. Okay, so just like acids and bases, solution of salts in water also conduct electricity. That also has a nature of conductivity. Okay, so these are salt families. Okay, so now if we see sodium chloride salt, okay, sodium chloride salt, if we see, which is consist of Na plus ion, Cl minus ion, right? Na plus ion and Cl minus ions are present with positively charged and negatively charged ions. So if I give you to write down the formulas of you, if I ask you to write potassium sulfate, how you will write? K2SO4. Sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. Based on the valencies only you have to write ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. Sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. Copper sulfate, CuSO4. Okay, so 10 families of salts can be identified in the above given salts. So potassium salts, sodium salts, calcium salts, magnesium salts. I did not write magnesium, no. MgSO4, magnesium salts. Okay, copper salts, ammonium salts, sulfate salts, again chloride salts, nitrate salts and carbonate salts. So these many salts are there. So salts family is very big. Okay, so what about this pH of a salt solution? If we see, pH of sodium chloride solution is 7, ammonium chloride solution which is acidic in nature, that is around 6, and sodium carbonate solution which is an alkaline basic in nature, it has 9. So, though the aqueous solutions of many salts are neutral, which are having the pH value of 7, but some salts they produce its acidic and basic nature. Okay, when they dissolved in water. So, the salts of strong acids and strong bases gives neutral solution. The salts of strong acids and weak bases will give acidic solution. The salts of weak acids and strong bases will give basic solution. Okay, 1 minute. Here what will happen? Salt of strong acid, strong base. Okay, it will give a salt. Give neutral solution. It will give neutral solution. Salts of strong acid plus weak base give acidic solution. Acidic solution. Okay, so strong acid, strong base, neutral solution only. Strong acid, weak base, then also and it is acidic solution. So salts of weak acid and strong base will give basic solution. Basic solution or alkaline solution, right? So this is about salts. So some of the, see, chemicals from common salt. Okay, what is a common salt? The common salt is a white powder which is used in preparing food, especially like vegetables, pulses and all. The common name of common salt is, chemical name of common salt is sodium chloride, NaCl. NaCl is a neutral salt. NaCl is a neutral salt. So how this salt is obtained we are going to discuss. When the sea water is trapped, okay, in large shallow pools like this, they collect the which are called as lagoons. Okay, and allow it to stand. Then the sun's heat will evaporate the water slowly, and common salt is left behind. So water will evaporate and common salt will left behind. This common salt is very impure because it has other salts also which were mixed in it. So it is purified to obtain common salt. Okay, that is only sodium chloride. The huge quantities of common salts is required by the industry come from sea water. Okay, so here common salt is obtained from sea water with the very important process called as evaporation. This is the multiple choice question. Evaporation. Okay, there are so many uses. Common salt is used for cooking. Common salt is used for manufacturing of soaps. Used to melt ice. Okay, it is used to melt ice. So many uses are there. So chemicals from common salt, if you see, first one is sodium. See here it is important products from the chlor-alkali process which takes place through which it is obtained, right? So here fuels, sodium hydroxide, hydrogen and chlorine, it is obtained at anode. Chlorine is formed, and at cathode hydrogen is formed, right? So sea water contains many salts which are dissolved in it. Sodium chloride is separated from these salts. Deposits of solid salts are also obtained in several parts of the world. There are large crystals of often brown due to the impurities, because impurities are present in it. This is called as the rock salt. Okay, so beds of rock salts are formed when seas of bygone ages dried up. Okay, and rock salt is mined like coal. Rock salt also mined like coal only. So this process is called as chlor-alkali process. So here at cathode and at anode, hydrochloric acid is formed. That hydrochloric acid which it is for cleaning steel, ammonium chloride, medicines, these all it is just separated cosmetics. Next one is bleaching. Household bleaches and bleaching fabrics are formed. So marketing strategies for all these products in the chemical manufacturing industries also it takes place. So what is this chlor alkali process? If you see, electrolysis of a solution of sodium chloride, generally it is. So when electric current is passed through a concentrated aqueous solution of sodium chloride, this sodium chloride is called as brine. What is it called as? 1 minute. Okay, so aqueous sodium chloride is called as brine. Brine it is. So sodium chloride it decomposes to give sodium hydroxide. It decomposes to give sodium hydroxide. Give sodium hydroxide, which is formed in the solution near to the cathode. Here it is formed near to the cathode, it is formed. So the other products of electrolysis are chlorine gas and hydrogen gas. So chlorine gas is evolved at the anode and hydrogen gas is given off at the cathode. So chlorine gas is evolved at anode and hydrogen gas is given off at cathode. So this process of production of sodium hydroxide from sodium chloride is called as chlor alkali process. Okay, chlor alkali process it is called as. So just let us see the reaction. 2 NaCl plus H2O gives rise to electrolysis it takes place NaOH plus Cl2 plus H2. 2 it is. It is also 2. Okay, so products of electrolysis of a solution of sodium chloride, and it has so many uses. So hydrogen as fuels, margarine, ammonia for fertilizers, chlorine is for water treatment, swimming pools, PVC, disinfectants, CFCs and pesticides, NaOH as degreasing metals, soaps and detergents, paper making, artificial fibers. These many uses it has. Okay, chalo. So now we are going to discuss about chemicals from common salt. What are the chemicals from common salt? These are the chemicals from common salt. Okay, first one is sodium hydroxide. It is commonly known as caustic soda. What is it known as? It is known as caustic soda. So this sodium hydroxide is produced by the electrolysis process only. Which electrolysis process? Of concentrated aqueous solution of sodium chloride, that is only brine. So NaCl, first one it is NaCl plus H2O gives rise to, in the presence of current, in the presence of electricity, electrolysis takes place, NaOH plus Cl2 plus H2. So here we need to balance. Okay, done. Here 2 hydrogen, 4. So chlorine gas is produced at an anode and hydrogen gas is produced at cathode. So sodium hydroxide solution is formed near the cathode. So this process of electrolysis of sodium chloride solution, this is only called as chlor-alkali process. Just now we have discussed this chlor-alkali process. Our sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen is formed. That is the first chemical which is formed from common salt, that is sodium hydroxide. So there are so many uses of sodium hydroxide, chlorine, hydrogen and hydrochloric acid also. So many uses. So next one is washing soda. See, I am completely teaching from NCERT only. Nothing is going to miss here. Okay, so washing soda is the next one. Washing soda is a sodium carbonate containing 10 molecules of water of crystallization. Okay, that is only sodium. So what is the formula? If we see, Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. Okay, here sodium carbonate which does not contain any water of crystallization, that is called as anhydrous sodium carbonate. What is that called as? Anhydrous sodium carbonate if water of crystallization is not present in that. That is Na2CO3 only, which is commonly known as soda ash. Okay, Na2CO3 is commonly known as soda ash. This washing soda is an important chemical which is obtained from sodium chloride. So here 10 molecules of water of crystallization is present in that. So how the production of washing soda, if we see, NaCl plus NH3, very important equations. In the true or false section as multiple choice questions also you may get this. So just copy this, NaHCO3 plus NH4Cl, right? So sodium hydrogen carbonate formed is only slightly soluble in water, that's why it precipitates out as a solid. So next, sodium bicarbonate, if you see, sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is called as washing soda. Okay, sodium hydrogen carbonate. NaHCO3. Okay, so how this is formed? NaHCO3, if it is heated, Na2CO3 plus CO2 plus H2O. Here it is 2 molecules of NaHCO3. The anhydrous sodium carbonate is obtained here. That is only called as soda ash. It is only called as soda ash. So washing soda is sodium carbonate which containing 10 molecules of water of crystallization. So washing soda is sodium carbonate decahydrate. Washing soda is also called as sodium carbonate decahydrate. There are so many uses. It has transparent crystalline solid. It is detergent properties, of cleansing properties it has. So it is one of the few metal carbonates which are soluble in water. Okay. Now, and it is main purpose is washing soda. The word itself you can understand. It is used for purpose of washing clothes only. Sodium carbonate is used for removing permanent hardness of the water and in the manufacturing of glass, soap and water. Glass, soap and paper. It is also used in the manufacturing of sodium compounds like borax. Borax you people use for making slimes. So that is very much useful. Next come to the baking soda. Next come to the baking soda. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is used as antacid. It is also used as antacid to remove the acidity of the stomach. So sodium hydrogen carbonate is used in the manufacturing of baking powder, which is used in the making of cakes, breads and all. Here how the formula will go: NaHCO3 plus H plus. What is this H plus? Tell me. This is tartaric acid. One hydrogen ion from tartaric acid is used. Okay. So baking powder is a mixture of sodium hydrogen carbonate like baking soda and is a mild edible acid is added in this, that is only called as tartaric acid. When a baking powder is mixed with water and making the dough which is present for making the dough for cakes and breads, then sodium hydrogen carbonate that reacts with tartaric acid to evolve carbon dioxide gas. That's why the fluffiness of the cakes and all we find. Understand? Sodium hydrogen carbonate means baking soda is used in fire extinguishers also. Fire extinguisher also it is useful. So you can make it at home also. Wash bottle of 20 ml of sodium hydrogen carbonate solution, if you add the ignition tube which is containing the dilute sulfuric acid in the wash bottle will help to thread. Okay, that you can make at home also. There are so many uses. Bleaching agent, it is used as a bleaching powder, bleaching agent, disinfectant. These all are the next part of the use. Okay, before discussing that baking soda and baking, okay, sodium hydrogen carbonate is used as fire extinguisher. Sodium hydrogen carbonate, I mean baking soda, is can be used for making the cakes and all. Okay, so sodium hydrogen carbonate, baking soda is a single compound sodium hydrogen carbonate. So baking powder is a mixture of sodium hydrogen carbonate and a edible acid, that is only called as tartaric acid or citric acid, right? Next come to the bleaching powder. Next come to the bleaching powder. So a substance which removes colors from colored substances and makes them colorless is called as bleaching agent. Okay, so a substance which is used to kill bacteria or germs is called as disinfectant also. It is used as disinfectant disinfectant also. Okay, so now we are going to learn that this only. Okay, bleaching powder is nothing but calcium oxyhydroxide. Oxyhydroxide, not it is. Bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride. Hydroxide, I'm telling. Calcium oxychloride. Okay, the chemical formula of this is CaOCl2. It is also called as chloride of lime. Okay, chloride of lime. Okay, how it is prepared? CaOH whole 2 plus Cl2 gives rise to CaOCl2 plus H2O. Okay, bleaching powder reacts with dilute acids to produce chlorine. So here bleaching powder CaOCl2 plus H2SO4 gives rise to CaSO4 plus Cl2 plus H2. The real bleaching agent which is present in bleaching powder is chlorine. Okay, so chlorine gas itself is difficult to store and utilize. It is used. Dilute hydrochloric acid also reacts with bleaching powder in a similar way to liberate this what is this chlorine gas. Okay, so what are the uses? There are so many uses. In the textile industry it is useful, in the laundry purposes it is useful, disinfectant drinking water supply, disinfecting drinking water supply also it is useful, for the manufacturing of chloroforms it is useful, for the manufacturing of CHCl3 it is useful. Okay, bleaching powder is used in making wool unshrinkable also it is useful. It is used as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries. Okay, so next come to the plaster of Paris. So these all are very very important. NCERT textbook completely you read, so that each and every point will be as a fill in the blank, or each and every point will be as multiple choice questions. So plaster of Paris, next one is POP, it is pop, plaster of Paris. So it is calcium sulfate hemihydrate. It is calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Okay, or calcium sulfate half hydrate, half H2 I have written. No, so this is the formula of plaster of Paris. It is actually made up of by heating the gypsum, which is mainly found in Paris. That's why it is called as plaster of Paris or pop. Okay, how it is prepared? How it is prepared? CaSO4 dot 2H2O heated at 100 degrees Celsius, that is 373 K. It is CaSO4 dot half H2O plus 1 by 2 H2O is formed. Okay, so heating of gypsum should be controlled very carefully, because the temperature we have to maintain at 100 degrees Celsius. So water of crystallization is eliminated and anhydrous calcium sulfate, which is called as dead burnt plaster, is formed. Okay, so the anhydrous calcium sulfate which does not set like plaster of Paris on adding the water. So this plaster of Paris which is given in the above equation, here it has half of the water molecules which are present. Half of the water molecules are present in it. So here gypsum, two molecules of, sorry, this completely, two molecules of gypsum which is heated at 100 degree Celsius, two molecules of CaSO4, means CaSO4 dot, this you can write it as CaSO4 dot H2O, plaster of Paris, and three molecules of water is formed. Okay, both are same. whether you are writing CaSO4 dot half H2O or 2 CaSO4 dot H2O also same, but generally when we write plaster of Paris, most of the children they write the formula like this only. Okay, CaSO4 dot half H2. So there are so many uses. Remarkable property of setting into a hard mass on wetting with water. There are so many uses. Plaster of Paris is a white powder, so it is used in the moisture proof container. We must store this, otherwise it will become hard. So there are so many purposes of using for making toys, decorative materials, cheap ornaments, fireproofing material. It is used chemical laboratories for sealing air gaps in the apparatus. Main purpose, what is the main use of this? You can just write down in the comment section. Making ornamental designs of ceilings of the houses, decorating items, everything is made. Main purpose of this is it is used in the hospitals for setting the fractured bones. So that is the main use of this. So all of you practice these all equations. Next come to the water of crystallization, that is hydrated salts. What is the action of heat on hydrated salts, that we are going to discuss now. So water of crystallization gives the crystals of the salts their shape, and in some cases it imparts their color also. Okay. If you see copper sulfate, how you will write copper sulfate? CuSO4 dot 5H2O. Sodium carbonate crystals or washing soda, how you will write? Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. Okay, calcium sulfate or gypsum, how you will write? Gypsum, it is CaSO4 dot 2H2O. Iron sulfate, FeSO4 dot 7H2O. So that water of crystallization is a part of crystal structure of a salt. So the water of crystallization is not a free water. It does not wet the salt. Understand? So these molecules are present which will give its shape and color. Okay. So if you see copper sulfate 5 CuSO4 dot 5H2O, it gives its blue color. Copper sulfate, that Neela Thota, blue color which is finding, it is because of the water of crystallization. Iron sulfate crystals, they are (7H2O) it is. Okay, it is green in color. It is also due to the water of crystallization only. Okay, sodium carbonate crystals, calcium sulfate crystals, these all are white in color. This is due to the water of crystallization only. Okay, so this action of heat on hydrated salts, how it is acted? CuSO4 dot 5H2O. If it is heated, what happens? Anhydrous copper sulfate means CuSO4, which is white in color, and 5 molecules of water will go away. On strong heating, this blue color copper sulfate crystals will turn into white color. Okay, so the dehydration of copper sulfate crystals is reversible process. So when water is added in the anhydrous copper sulfate, you will get back. Okay, so same like that only. CuSO4 plus 5 molecules of water, if you add, you will get back the hydrated. Here it is anhydrous. Now it is white in color. Here it is blue in color. It converted into white color one. Now it will change again as CuSO4 dot 5H2O, which is blue in color. Okay, which is blue in color. Beautiful blue. I like that very much. Okay, so this is about acids and bases. So नीचे description box में I am going to add all the first term chapters. Only metals and non-metals are left. So that also soon I am going to, tomorrow, day after tomorrow I am going to come with that video. And जितना ज़्यादा हो सके अपने friends के साथ share करो, लाइक करो, सेशन को सब्सक्राइब करो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब माय चैनल, ऑल ऑफ यू माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स. सो सब्सक्राइब द चैनल विजय मनोरमा ट्यूटोरियल्स. सो शेयर विथ योर फ्रेंड्स. नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में माय टेलीग्राम लिंक इज गिवन. सो जस्ट join the group. Whatever the doubts you have, you can ask me. So thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Be safe. Be strong. Be confident. All the best. Bye bye. Take care, all of you.